Good morning and welcome to The Wise Why. I'm Kirsty Vandenbalk and with me this morning is Beth Kirk. I met Beth when I joined the Tech Pixies, and I have to personally thank Beth because my LinkedIn and my business, in fact, not just Beth, but the Tech Pixies, everything that I do is, well, I've learned so much. So enough about me and the Tech Pixies and what I've achieved. And I'm going to move straight away to Beth. Beth, tell everyone about yourself.
Hi, Kirsty. Thank you so much for inviting me on. This is so exciting to be on a LinkedIn Live. My name is Beth Kirk, as you've said. I am the founder of Socially Oxford, helping businesses and organisations with their social media marketing.
Wow. Can you tell me, why did you decide to set up Socially Oxford?
So my background is in corporate business. So I spent 18 years working in the soft drinks industry. I worked for some of the biggest brands, Coca-Cola Enterprises, GlaxoSmithKline, across a wide range of positions, ranging from commercial account management to shopper marketing to sales management, where I was managing sales teams. And I did that for 18 years. And then I had my first child. And I think as any mum knows, when you have your first child, your life changes quite significantly. And I was working full time, long days, long hours, as you know, as anyone works in corporate business. And I decided that wasn't going to be right for me going forward, and for my daughter. And I wanted flexibility. I wanted to be at school gates, drop off and pick up, certainly in her younger years. And I really felt that at one point I went from 5 days a week down to 4. And that was great because it meant I had some time with her at home, and my partner also did that as well. So at one point we were both working full time. We were both working, but we both had a day at home with her, and that was really perfect. That was great for flexibility. But then when my second child came along, the juggle became even more challenging, and I also felt that I wanted a new work challenge. I felt that I wanted to, put my toe in the water with running my own business and freelancing. So I gave it up and I retrained into digital marketing, and here I am.
Well, I'm impressed, and honestly, my LinkedIn would not be where it is today if I hadn't met you. So, I really appreciate that. But why and how do you choose the clients you work with? Because as a freelancer, we have choice, and I love that choice. I'm not going to sit there and say I don't. And my clients mean the world to me. So I'm intrigued and want to know how and why you choose the clients that you work with.
I feel really lucky with some of my clients. I work with some amazing individuals and organisations who make a difference in other people's lives. And obviously, as you've already mentioned, we met through Tech Pixies because I freelance for Tech Pixies. I'm the coach there on LinkedIn, and I love seeing that change in, we have women come into the program. Tech Pixies is a female orientated business, and I just love seeing that amazing difference where we have women that come into the program who really don't understand tech, they don't understand marketing, digital marketing rather, they don't know how to market their business idea, they don't know how to bring it to life online, and we make this radical change with those women. And that's a combination of the life coaching as well as the social media marketing coaching. And for me, that's incredible, because I get lots and lots of positive feedback from people such as yourself after they've come out of the program the other end, and they're establishing their businesses, they're getting work, they are, they feel really confident about tech and marketing online, social media marketing. And for me, that's hugely rewarding. So Tech Pixies is one of those clients. I also work with another client in quite a different sector and he's incredibly focused on improving the lives of children in care. So again, exceptionally value-driven clients that I think, where I feel like we're making a difference, and that's incredibly rewarding for me. But I have worked with clients in a number of sectors, so it has evolved. I've been, my business has been alive for over 3 years now. And I think it will continue to evolve, but there's a tremendous amount of reward there for me and those are with my ongoing clients that I work with on a monthly basis. But obviously I also work with people just on a one-to-one basis, just on, helping them elevate their personal brand on LinkedIn, for example. So yeah, I feel really lucky actually with who I work for. It's brilliant.
That's brilliant. And as everyone who knows me personally knows that children in care mean an awful lot to me. So when I saw that you were working with that demographic, my heart soared. Of course it did. It's very close to my heart and means the world to me. So who is, I mean, you've named the Tech Pixies and you've named helping children in care. And by the way, I loved that post that you had asking us about what to send them in the backpack, because that's really interesting, seeing the difference in what somebody who doesn't understand the process of what it's like coming from there and what they say and what I would say is definitely different. So thank you for that post, because it was very insightful. But who is your ideal client? Who, if you were to have a magic wand moment and you could paint a picture, who would it be? Some people call these an avatar, but I like my magic wand moment.
So my ideal client would be probably either a charity or an organization that is wants to make a difference, and that I can help them with their strategy. I can help them identify what they should be saying, where they should be saying it, and how they should be saying it. And I love that piece of work. I worked with a wonderful charity earlier this year who work in the mental health space, and they hadn't been tapping into social media marketing at all. But they offer a service to help people recover from mental health difficulties. And, we work together over a period of a month. And, then I train them and I leave them to do that, to execute that themselves. And that, for me, that's another really rewarding piece of work. Even though I don't work with them ongoing, it's still very rewarding to do that. So that's, that I love doing that kind of work. I feel like I can quite quickly understand their business or their organization or what they're trying to achieve. And I can tailor a strategy to them for that in order to achieve it. And then I also love to work with, I love to work with people on a one-off basis, really, just on LinkedIn, on the platform. I know we're going to come on to this, but I think LinkedIn's got huge opportunities for people that they don't recognize, and that can be really rewarding, helping somebody get more confident about how they can use a platform to either grow their business or grow their personal brand. Again, I really like that element to it too.
So I was about to ask you why someone would work with you, but actually I think you've just answered that, because and that's what I love about the why. And for me, I chose the why's why because the why that drives us is the one thing that makes us make decisions, and those choices are what we can. I love choices, because you can choose to do this or you can choose to do that, and if you choose to do this, you've got that consequence, and you choose to do that, you've got another consequence, and then you can choose if you're going to go down the road. And I think you just completely answered my next question. So I'm going to skip on, because anyone listening to this can see that you have a broad spectrum of experience. You come from the corporate world, you work with charities, you have a heart. And I think that's really important. You have a heart, and that heart really wants to help people. And obviously you've already helped me. And of course you're doing it every day. I think that's the thing, is I'm on the platforms every day. I do understand how they work. I think the only thing I would add is that, I've invested in myself. When I left corporate, I invested a significant amount of money in my training, and that was with Digital Mums. But I've also invested in other courses since, because digital is constantly evolving, and I'm adding skills to my skill set all the time. So this year I took I invested in a wonderful email marketing course. I've done paid advertising courses as well, and they're an investment. They're not it's not cheap to do those, with the right people, with doing really good quality courses. So I have and I've done that, and that's because I want to provide a really good service to
anyone that I work with. So, you know, I see the value in that, and hopefully my clients do as well.
That's how we met. If I hadn't invested in myself, we would never have met, because my husband was saying to me, please, will you go and invest in yourself and find somebody that will help you get over this insecurity that you're having and this overwhelm. And then I came across the Tech Pixies and you. And so investing in yourself, and anyone who's listening to this, definitely, whilst you might look at your cash flow and think, I can't afford to do this, actually it's the best decision you will ever make, and it will pay for itself over and over and over again. So earlier you talked about your why, and the why that you set up, and how you went to 4 days a week, and your husband amazingly did the same thing. And I get that, because being at the school gate to meet my daughter is the driving force behind why I set up Opening Doors Consultancy. But has your why changed? And this is what I find really interesting. From when you set up, because whys evolve. We've already talked about this. Everything evolves. So your why when you set up 3 years ago, what is your why now?
I think I still definitely, obviously my children are now older. So my youngest is now in school, and that, you know, so that's a constant evolving, changing thing, as you know. You know, you feel like you get more time back, and then when your children get a bit older, they go to bed later, so you lose that time. So
not there yet.
So the time thing does constantly evolve, but it's still really important to me that, you know, there are days when I pick them up and we just come back here and we do stuff together, or we just go, you know, we just go to the park and we do things together. That's still really important. But I think the other why for me now is I get a lot of value out of working with some of the clients that I work with. You know, I get, and I, you know, would describe that earlier, is that I get quite a bit of reward, personal reward from that. You know, obviously in corporate world, you're very profit focused. I was, my annual objectives in corporate were to deliver profit, basically, and which you would expect from corporate world. And actually, this is quite different in terms of what I deliver now for clients. It's quite different. It's helping them get a message out there to help people, and I find that very rewarding.
I hear you. I like it when I know I've done a really good job and I get goosebumps. I know it sounds really silly, but I get goosebumps, and I know then, one, my customers had a wow moment. I love wow moments, but also I get goosebumps and I know that I've made a difference, and that really, really matters to me. So on that note, and I've had quite a few of these, so I'm sure you can't just limit it to one, but is there, or did you have an aha moment that made you change or refocus your why?
I think because I've been lucky enough to work with a good business coach, and I know we're going to talk about that in a minute, where, I think I have these aha moments every day. I don't think there's one big moment for me. I think I have them as a business owner. I think I have them all the time, and I'm sure there might be people that, hopefully there would be other women that watch this and go, yeah, because you do, it's a big journey, running your own business, far more than I ever anticipated it to be so. And I think you'd probably agree with me on that.
Absolutely.
It is a big journey, but I think, I have them every day. And, my business coach is amazing, because I think when we're running our own businesses and we compare ourselves to what other people are offering or doing, who are in a similar space to us, there can be an element of thinking that you have to be doing it all. And, one of the best aha moments I've probably had this year is that my business coach has really taught me to think in the mindset of slow and steady wins the race. So, you can't achieve everything all at once. You need to pick off your goals and your objectives by quarter, and focus on those, so almost less is more. And that's been a brilliant kind of tip for me, and hopefully it might be for other people as well, because actually, when you risk burnout if you're trying to do too much.
So we've had some really lovely comments come in, just so you're aware that we've had Yeah, we've got a good morning. So somebody hasn't clicked the StreamYard link, so we can't see who that is. Someone's wished us good morning, which is lovely to see. Annette Shaw is saying good morning to us both, and of course she's also a tech pixie. And then there's a lovely lady, and hi Hayley. Hayley Josephs actually, who I'm hoping will agree to come on the Wise Why. She actually kicked my derriere, that's the polite word, and got me actually to do this because I was hiding. So you're talking about imposter syndrome, and I really hid. I've taught video and going on camera for years, but me going on video, it was a no-no. And then when I met the Tech Pixies were like, you have to do it. And then I made a comment actually on LinkedIn, and Hayley roasted me, and she was right. She was really right. I got to meet her at an event in September, and I found a genuine friend who I just absolutely adore. And I love the fact that we met with her telling me off. So yeah, that's what LinkedIn is also good for. So moving on, and thank you ladies for putting some comments on there. Who or what helped you along the way?
So I love this question, because I think as business owners, as sole founders, business owners ourselves, I think that I think when we start out, we feel very alone. And actually what is really important, and if there's anything that anyone takes away from this, is that, actually think about building your community. There are some incredible communities online. The Tech Pixies community is amazing, as we both know. But I have a network of peers, of girls, females that do exactly what I do. And we all support each other. My business coach community, my business coaches community is amazing. Her name is Ruth Gilby, and I get a lot of support from the women in her community. We all help each other, we support each other. It's amazing. And obviously then there's the Tech Pixies community as well. I'm still in touch with one of the girls that I trained with at Digital Mums. And we support each other in terms of any client challenges that we have. We've both been doing this exactly the same length of time as each other. And that, I need that support and that community. I don't think I'd still be here if I didn't have those wonderful people. So, I think that's what a lot of people perhaps don't understand about being a freelancer online, is that you can find that support. It is there. You have to work at it, and you have to give as much as you take as well. But I wouldn't be here today still if I didn't have those communities. So
I completely hear you. If I hadn't I've got a group of women who, funny enough, through the Tech Pixies, there's a strong community that we have. We managed to find a pod, and that pod is very powerful. It's a group of us, and they really keep me accountable, and they question. And sometimes those questions, particularly from a couple of them, can be quite painful. But those questions also drive me to my why and make me clarify why I'm actually doing something. Like for this, why did I apply to go for LinkedIn Live? At the time, and I will be absolutely honest, it was an extra glass of wine. But we'll come back onto that.
I love that.
I know. I was literally going, and anyone who knows me knows, 1 glass of wine and I'm fine. 2, I'm going to do something silly. And this was my 2nd glass of wine. So yes. Why should business owners use LinkedIn? In fact, why should anybody? Because it's not just business owners. A lot of people thought LinkedIn was a place that you hosted your CV and you looked to find work. Now, since I set up, as you know, I talked to you this morning about that, my LinkedIn community has tripled. And it's tripled because I got good advice from someone, and I commented, and I started posting video and top tips. But why should anybody use LinkedIn?
So LinkedIn is an amazing social media platform. I think it's hugely underrated and misunderstood still, even though there are lots of us out there kind of waving the banner for it. It's LinkedIn, unlike a lot of the other platforms, still gives you good organic reach. And if I compare LinkedIn to Instagram, for example, and Instagram tends to be a platform that a lot of women launching creative business absolutely flock to, and quite rightly so, because that is it is a platform for that. Organic reach is quite challenging to achieve now. I mean, yes, it exists, but you have to be doing an awful lot. You have to be using an incredible amount of features on Instagram in order to achieve growth. You can build a community on there nicely, but LinkedIn, I think, still represents a really wonderful opportunity for people on organic posting and reach. And I think, like you mentioned, you can build a community on here really beautifully, and that can deliver on a number of things for you. I think being on LinkedIn can increase your exposure, for example, doing lives like this, which I appreciate not everybody wants to initially jump into. This may be a step too far for some people, but actually having a really standout profile and understanding how to share the right content on the platform can be hugely beneficial to your personal brand. So anyone that it provides a service for B2B businesses should definitely be using and maximizing this platform. So yeah, I mean, I could talk about LinkedIn forever. I do think it's a really clever platform. I think it's quite misunderstood still, and I think it's no longer full of stuffy, it used to be known as a very sort of stuffy platform, and you'd only ever see kind of corporate images of people working and things like that. And actually, you can show your personality nicely on LinkedIn now, and I think that can do you a power of good as a business owner. And I get regular leads through this platform, and I intend to use it more. And I've just been granted LinkedIn Live, hooray! So whilst I'm a guest for you today, I've now, as I've posted about this week, now also have the functionality to go live. So, and I think that represents a huge opportunity. We talked about authenticity earlier, didn't we? People can really get to know you through listening to you on live, for example.
I think it's incredible. I am going to throw an extra surprise question in purely because it's just come into my head. And anyone who knows me knows I run on the hoof. So yeah, if that's a good phrase, I don't know. And if not, tell me in the comments, because you go live next time. So it's not easy, I can assure you. And I was a professional actor and I'm used to doing this kind of thing, but I still, and I'm just going to put it out there, I still got nervous. I still had that, can I do this? And that's very important to everybody out there, that video isn't easy. No. It is a challenge, but there are ways to do it. And one of my big key phrases is one less is more, because that's really important to me. And the other one is keep it simple. Keep everything simple and just do it, because the more you do it, the better you get. I can't wait to see when you come back, Beth, in maybe next year, and we see how I've improved doing these lives and how you've changed since you've been doing, you'll be going live with your LinkedIn lives. So the question I'm going to ask is, and I'm really sorry to throw this at you, but there's trending on LinkedIn at the moment is, this is not Facebook. Now, I find that a really strange thing, because what I've noticed since I've really got into the platform is personal stories, personal connections. People want to see the person behind the brand. They are the corporates, particularly after lockdown. We are now the face of the brand. So this is the way we communicate. The new way of networking is to show yourself and be seen. So how do you feel? Because I find it a bit strange. This is not Facebook, because none of there's the odd post that you go, yes, maybe that shouldn't be on here, but they're probably 1 in 1,000. What's your feeling on this?
I've seen some content around this, and I think, I think when you're choosing whether a piece of content is right for LinkedIn, I think, if you're sharing a family-based image, but you're linking it to your profession or your work life, I think it's appropriate. And I think it shows you, we talk about the know, like, and trust model in terms of allowing people to get to know you online and to like you. You've got those people have to do that before they want to work with you. So if by that piece of content that you're sharing, you are you know, you're allowing people to get closer to you and to understand you as an individual, your values, what you're about, and to know you a little bit better, then yes, I absolutely think that you should share that content. And I think you probably know Padma Knowles. She's the career coach. I've seen her do it wonderfully. She's posted family pictures. I'm sure it's Padma. I apologize, Padma, if it's not you, but I think it is. You know, Padma's posted some wonderful content, you know, really showing her family life, but it's related to, you know, it's related to her work, to what she does. And to me, that's really relevant. That, you know, that doesn't turn me off at all. I think, yeah, so I would just encourage people to, you know, consider, you know, does this relate to you? Does this relate to you professionally? Even though it might be a personal image or a personal story, does it relate, you know, does it allow people to get to know you, like you, and trust you? That would be my piece of advice around, you know, should I or should I not share, you know, this content? You know, I think if you're photographing your lunch, you know, I think I'm not sure I see that connection, although I think others would dispute me on that. But I think, you know, when you're sharing an image of your why, for example, so if you shared a family image and in behind it was a story about your business why, to me that's quite powerful, I think.
I totally agree. Beth, I can't thank you enough. One, for agreeing to come on my first ever LinkedIn Live. Two, for being a fabulous guest. I mean, wow, what a great way to start this whole series. Thank you. We're going to say goodbye now. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. I promised everybody I would keep it around the 20-25 minutes, and I think we've got to 26 and a half. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I knew it would be, which is obviously why I said yes.
I'm so pleased. So thank you, everybody. There were a couple of comments. I will get back to them at the end of this. And yes, Annette, totally. We are building communities. So thank you ever so much. Bye for now.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.